Judgment Day is here, and it's time to grab our Terminator 2 arcade gun converted to Blamcon and terminate anything smarter than a calculator as we go back to the past to look at one of the greatest arcade games of all time, Terminator 2, the arcade game. T2, as everyone calls it, is a 1991 arcade game based on, you guessed it, Terminator 2 the movie. The game was made in tandem with the movie. I think with the success of the first one, Midway was pretty sure it'd be a hit. For its time, the game had excellent graphics. This is what we considered photorealistic back then, and it really stood out. Another cool thing is that the screen was mounted flat in the bottom of the cabinet with an angled mirror giving you a further view than you would have gotten if the TV was just mounted flat like normal. I actually fixed up one of these cabs last year by combining two into one for a toy store, which is where I got this extra gun. Your gun doesn't have bullets, it has gunpowder. As you shoot, your power depletes until your rapid-fire machine gun slows down to a slow drip. If you stop firing, your power will slowly start to creep up, but grabbing ammo power-ups instantly restores your gun to full. So if you still have power left and you see an ammo power-up, you may want to hold off picking it up until you need to. It may be hard to do, but even if your screen is covered in killer robots, I would highly recommend you prioritize crates if your gun is less than half full. You'll do a lot better if you stop shooting for a bit and get an ammo power-up, then run out of power and you're basically useless until the meter refills. In terms of power-ups, there's a lot of cool things in crates. Guided missiles, magazines which refill your gun meter, coolant which maxes out your gun power without draining for a short period, plasma that makes your gun more powerful, health items, and a shield that reduces damage. Or, my favorite, a nuke that clears the screen and gives you a huge bonus. It's always worth seeing what's in crates no matter what's happening on screen. One annoying thing I noticed in the arcades that I actually attributed to the gun being in a fixed position is the way the cursor moves. It kind of wants to move along the horizontal or vertical axis, making it a bit hard to be precise. It doesn't ruin the experience or anything, but I was surprised to see this carry over to my Blamcon conversion where I could move it around freely. Your goal, just like in the movie, is to avoid Judgment Day. But unlike the movie, the first half of the game you're fighting through a dystopian hellscape that is the Skynet-controlled future. You play as the T-800, complete with Arnie voice quotes, and battle your way through a ruined overworld. Then through an overrun factory, and then a truck where you dash to Skynet's location. This truck bit is rigged, I swear. The first few times it's impossibly hard, so make sure you grab the missiles in the beginning. Focus on the jets and shoot them with the homing missiles as fast as possible to bring them down. Ignoring them is certain death. The other two bosses of the overworld are a giant tank and a set of bay doors that spews robot snakes and orbs. It's best done by ignoring everything but the points you can shoot, which are the guns in the body and the head of the tank, and the bay doors themselves. And when you finally do get to Skynet, just keep getting those crates and spraying and praying. When you do beat Skynet, you start back in the past at Cyberdyne. I did Google this because it says shoot all the equipment, and when I passed the level there was still some left. Apparently, if you do shoot every cabinet, computer, and printer, you get the good ending. But it's just a text line, so you don't really have to. After you finish at Cyberdyne, you escape in an armored car. I find this is the most frustrating part, for me at least. A helicopter comes in from all angles, and if it even touches your van, you insta-die and have to restart that part. I found after almost putting my fist through the TV a couple of times that if you keep the gun in the corner of the van and keep shooting, it's a lot easier because you can reach all points as it comes in, and make sure you hit it with a round or two from your shotgun, and that kind of does the trick. After you make it through that, you suddenly get rammed by a truck, and if you're not quick, you gotta start the helicopter bit all over again. Just shoot it as fast as you can as it pops in and out of the screen, and easy peasy, you're at the foundry. The foundry is the endgame. This is where you finally get to fight the T-1000. Indirectly, at least. You gotta shoot holes in the truck to pour liquid nitrogen over it and lower its temperature. But the temperature is constantly going up, so if you don't keep the pressure on, you'll just do this forever, I guess. It's always rolling around and jumping off screen, so you just gotta keep hitting that truck. Make sure you get the shotgun shells as they fall too. You'll need a lot of them later on. When you finally get his meter to 0, he shatters. Then it's a race to the end. Shoot the guys coming down on the rope. Easy to ignore them, but they drain your health pretty quick. And then you're there, the end of the game. This is where you need your shells. The T-1000 spawns right next to John, and if he touches them, insta-kill, and you got to do that nitrogen truck part all over again. Shoot him fast, shoot him with your shotgun shells as fast as you can, and then he'll pop up, and you got to start shooting him and shooting him and shooting him. That's basically it. Just shoot him with his shotgun shell, shoot him as fast as you can, and then eventually he'll appear on the causeway. At this point, nail him with everything you've got. It took me a few tries to figure this out, but when he gets near to the back of the causeway, a grenade launcher will drop on the screen. Grab it and hit him with grenades just as he's at the very edge, and that's it. Game over. It took me 50 minutes and a dozen quarters to beat the game, and even when I briefly owned the machine, I never actually got to the end because I never noticed that grenade launcher and got stuck in a loop. This game and its namesake movie were a huge part of my life growing up, and it's still a movie I watch with the family every few years. So it's quite the personal achievement to finally beat the game. This review was filmed with the original Terminator 2 arcade gun converted to a Blamcon. It has a IR camera in the front to work with Blamcon's 4-point IR system along with a wide-angle lens. This is a 3D printable model that's very easy to put in the arcade gun. The post that connects to the arcade machine is a perfect magazine, so there's a 3D printed shroud that goes over that with the GX16 connection. I have mounted an absolutely huge 24-volt solenoid in the back that frankly made my arm kind of numb playing. Wish I hadn't been so ambitious, but you can put any solenoid you want. It can be triggered by the Blamcon core mounted up front. The front button, the action button, is an assignable button, as well as a second A and B button. There is an LED mounted in here where the original LEDs are, but this time it's addressable, and a rumble motor in the back, just for some force feedback when you get hit. The guide on how to convert this is on Blamcon.com. We do sell kits. We do sell completed light guns, but at the same time, the guides, the know-how, the parts list, and all of the 3D models to do it yourself are completely free, as is the Blamcon firmware, the Blamcon software, and now the Blamcon game. Those are available for free, actually, on Steam. What keeps Blamcon free? The community. That's how we started with Props3D, where the models and code are free on Props3D, and we have kept that up. We are turning Blamcon into an endeavor, but we are only charging for physical things that take our time. All of the knowledge is yours, and that is made possible by Patreon. I would like to give a huge shout out to our VIP Patreons. Let me flip windows here. Matthew Clavish, Fernando Diaz of Big Gun Arcades, Ron Steffenpool, Stephen Barsom, Philip Daniel of the Light Gun Lunatics group on Facebook, Martin Kilroy, also a Light Gun Lunatic, CC, Andrew Gergen, Big Homie, Chef J, Thomas Cooper, James Hargis, Jovan Fiddler, Paul Pardee, Racing Fuel, The Crooked Man, Varen, Daniel Whitehead, Ephraim Henry, Keith West, Ian Kowalski, Lee Fellon, Sue Wanze, Bryce, and Tija 1999. Oh, and a reminder, always forget this. Oh, it's behind there. Please like and subscribe. That helps a lot. I never mention that. Maybe I'll make that a habit. And also, thank you so much to all the Patreons in the crawl that follows.